Hey y'all, welcome back to Steff's Signature Corner. It's me, Steff, with this horrible voice. But I'm here. I am here with you right now. And that's kind of the topic of today's episode, showing up when you don't feel ready. But before I jump into that, I just want to let you know we're getting close to wrapping up season 1. And I just want to say that if you've been listening, growing, crying, resting, laughing, and evolving with me, I cannot thank you enough. I really, really appreciate the love and the support that I have received and that I'm constantly getting. Today's episode is one I think every woman, especially every mother, every student, every daughter, every friend needs to hear. How to show up when you don't feel ready. I don't feel ready right now. I was concerned because I've been sick. And I didn't want my voice to sound horrible. But this is something that I love. This is something that I enjoy doing. I know that I could have sat there and nursed myself back to health. But the more I cough, the more it abuses my vocal cords. However, I'm here and I'm showing up. Let me tell you something. These past few months, I've had days where I didn't feel ready for anything. Not motherhood, not school, not work, not even my life. But here I am. And here you are, still showing up, still trying, still breathing, still pushing through. There's this unspoken pressure on women that we're supposed to be strong, be put together, be prepared, be patient, be nurturing, be organized, be emotionally available, be spiritually grounded, and be cute while doing it. Who invented that list? Because I know it wasn't me. And it wasn't God either. That's a pretty hard list to live by. Being emotionally available can be hard. It can be really difficult. You have to look at yourself and even wonder, do you have the mental agility to deal with anybody else's stuff, let alone yours? There are mornings recently when I woke up and said, I don't have it today. There wasn't anything wrong, but it was because everything was happening at once. Like 2 babies depended on me, assignments due at school, work deadlines, house a mess, and my mind, a whole storm. On top of that, I've never heard of RSV. It shattered my whole house. With all of those things happening, I didn't feel ready, but I still had to show up. And I realized something. Readiness is a lie we tell ourselves because we're afraid of failing. You don't have to be ready to start. You just have to be willing. I want to be completely honest here. When I think about being ready, some days I show up 100%. Some days I still show up with 60%. Some days I show up with 20%. And some days I'm operating on fumes and caffeine. It's kind of what I feel like right now. But you know what I've learned? Showing up imperfect is still showing up. When I walk into class with my hair all over my head, or sometimes putting on a ball cap, I still showed up. When I get to work, even though I cried in the car the whole way, and I sat in the garage to decompress, I still showed up. When I rock a baby at 3 a.m. and still make breakfast at 7, I still showed up. And that counts. That matters. And that builds strength. Give yourself credit. You know, it's funny. Some of the best chapters of my life started when I was not ready. I wasn't ready to become a guardian. I wasn't ready to go back to school. I wasn't ready to rebuild my life. I wasn't ready to release certain people. And I doggone sure wasn't ready to choose myself. But look at me, with a big smile on my face. Every season I thought would break me actually built me. Every moment I felt unprepared, God was saying, you don't have to be ready, Stephanie. I'm ready. And sometimes we confuse readiness with comfort. Sometimes we think, if it feels uncomfortable, it must not be my season. But a lot of times the discomfort is confirmation. It means you're stretching, you're growing, you're elevating, you're learning even more. One thing about being an ISFJ, which we've talked about in our beginning episodes, we want to be prepared for every single thing. We want structure. We love peace. I want to be able to predict what's happening. We want to anticipate every outcome so that I can feel safe. But life doesn't come with a script. And God doesn't give us a whole blueprint. He gives you steps. Not chapters, steps. Not conclusions, steps. Just steps. And every step I take, even the shaky ones, even the tired ones, even those scared ones, even the unprepared ones, is still a progress. Even the unprepared ones, that is still progress. I'm learning to give myself grace. Real grace. Grace that says, you're doing enough. You are enough. You deserve peace even when your life is chaotic. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to pretend to be strong. That's real grace. You got to give that to yourself. You have to know that you're deserving of that. And you have to be okay with that. So before we close, I want to talk to the woman listening right now who feels like she's failing because she doesn't feel ready. Girl, you are not failing. You are becoming. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies those that he calls. He strengthens the tired. He lifts the overwhelmed. And he restores the broken. You don't need readiness. You need faith. Just a little. Just enough to whisper, I'll try today. For this week's challenge, I want you to write down 2 lists. On your first list, it's what I don't feel ready for. And be honest. Say it with your chest. Put the fears on paper. That second list, why am I showing up anyway? Name the purpose behind the pressure. Name the future you're walking towards. Name the babies who are watching you. Name the woman you're becoming. And listen, some of y'all have seen me in the store pushing these kids around and sipping coffee. Mind your business. Showing up tired is still showing up. I'm Steff, and this is Steff's Signature Corner. Until next time, show up even if you don't feel ready. God will meet you where your strength ends.